Okay, here we are again, back in the Risk of Rain 2 challenge series, where we completed 2 challenges in the last run, but we are going to separate those out. So, a red item that we found is the Alien Head, reducing all our skill cooldowns by 25% and 25% per stack. Okay, if we jump over a little bit further, I think we might have seen another equipment item. That's alright, we'll go over to our monster. We found the Alloy Vulture. And these creatures just throw like flying scythes through the air, and you can ground them by dealing damage to them. Okay, so the challenges that we completed is Cosmic Explorer for going through all 3 unique portals. This is the Gold Portal, the Lunar Portal, and the Void Portal. You can also get this by going through the Celestial Portal, which we will go through later on. We were aiming to do that, and you go through the Celestial Portal to get to the Obelisk. And to achieve that, you need to do an entire loop of the levels, and you will get a Celestial Orb that spawns. We also collected the Blockade Breaker for killing 15 boss monsters in a single run. So if you get 5 boss monsters in 3 rounds, you don't even have to do a full loop, and you'll have that achievement unlocked. So what we're going to do today is we're going to jump in with the loader again. I think, yeah, we'll go in with the loader, and we'll ready up. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the Void Portal straight away. So we're going to get some items from the first map. Preferably regeneration items. But this crowbar is very useful for us as well. Okay, so we found our new altar that we're going to activate. We don't have any chests too close to the teleporter. A little bit unfortunate, but not necessary. And we're just going to pick up these ones. The crowbar would be very useful, but we aren't going to collect it. Oh, we misjudged our landing there. That's alright. Straight into the teleporter boss very early. Aim into the ground for this one, so that we don't slingshot ourselves off the edge. And we'll stay underneath the Stone Titan. When you stay underneath the Stone Titan, it can never lock onto you with its laser beam. It can only continually slam the ground. It can, however, hit you with this trajectory that is on its top of its head. But we will be able to tank most of this from just holding down our left click and having our shield. And there we go. Stone Titan's very easy for loader to deal with in the early game. can stay underneath the legs of a Stone Titan with any character. Okay, we'll just pause the run here. Okay, pause the recording there and we'll resume our run. Okay, so we picked up, and we definitely can't see any other close by chests. No. We would be wanting more items than we have currently, ideally. Going through the portal with 4 items isn't very good, but we did get a Titanic Null, which is very good for regeneration. Okay, we're just gonna jump down, shoot into the hole, and fly into our void portal. You won't see it from a distance, it sort of pops into reality about halfway down the tunnel. Into a null portal, sorry, not a void portal. Okay, and we'll start the event straight away. So what happens here is that now we've got things that are scaled down a little bit. We're versing everything in the null portal at a difficulty of only 4.5 minutes. But this does mean that we are also weak because we only have the items. We only have 4 items, but we will get some more as we continue through this. We don't have to stay inside the ring, because as you can see our health plus our Titanic Null does an alright job of keeping us alive, but there isn't a disadvantage of just standing inside of this field. Okay. Since we really don't have much health, we don't want to take much damage, so finding that next void field is useful. It is a little bit difficult with some characters, because you don't have as much mobility as Loda does. So some people like the Artificer and Commando even have some very difficult times getting to the portal before they're dead. And this is also prevalent on Engineer. Okay, luckily for us, the creatures spawned with Cautious Slug, which means they do regenerate outside of battle, but they don't really go outside of battle. They either die or they stay in battle. So we have not got to worry about the enemy beetles being too strong yet. Okay, so we find our next beam and it looks like it's on the top. You can walk the zigzag up, but Loda gets to do a little bit of a fly. This portal over here is our exit portal. Okay, so now we have some golems to add in. A useful thing is to remember that this mountaintop that we are on only has a certain path up. So it means that most of your enemies will start to pile up on certain paths. You don't have to kill them, but if you're in something like Sacrifice with the Artifact Rune, you can quite usefully get large amounts of kills because enemies will just pile up around the edges of these pathways. See how our golem is quite confused? Beetles and stuff like that are pushing him out of the way. If there were more beetles there, he might actually end up blocking the path. Okay, so our next one is just over the edge here. Oh, that was close. Okay, so our next one really wasn't too far away. And we have the same thing. If anything, any monsters spawn up the hill, they have to walk down the hill to get to us. So now we have to look out, because they have a tri-tip dagger, and 5 of them, which means they can make us bleed for a considerably large amount of damage. If you add the imp's natural bleed on top of that, it gets very strong. Considering that the bleed deals damage based on the base damage of the hit, having a golem that applies bleed to you can also hurt a lot. It is a useful thing to do is pay attention to when you're going to level up if you do have a banner, and put it down somewhere useful if you can. So you can see how much we're bleeding for. We bleeded for probably about 1/5 of our health, just from one hit. Okay, now we have a red whip, and we have to travel a long way to get to our next one. Okay, the enemy has been given 3 ukuleles. This is quite useful as I don't have allies, so I can't chain to other enemies, but the ukulele can apply more damage to just me. We are on top of the hill again, so there are unlimited ways that the enemies can get to us, such as walking up this hill and down this bridge. And there is a little path up this side. Okay. So we've now got the Warhorn, and we're looking for our next beam in the sky. There it is behind us, not too far away. And now we have some of those weird jellyfish things, I can't remember their name, that are going to be attacking us. something that is unfavorable is having these enemies, because you only have a limited amount of area you can walk around in this little breath bubble. And their little poison field can cover up a fair amount of that. And when you add on the ability that they can proc Tri-Tip Dagger, you can pick up many bleed stacks very quickly, because the poison tick rate is very rapid. It makes it worthwhile if you have got some form of ranged ability to try and distract them or take them out before they take you out. Okay, we're looking for our next beam in the sky. We can't see it, so we're just going to shoot up. We've got it in the middle here. Okay, and now they have some Reynolds bands to slow us down. The enemy monsters are getting very strong now. We can get hit from many sides as well. Stone golems in this area. Okay. We have one more to finish, and our event will be done. This one is a very difficult one, because you're locked out in the open. You do have a little bit of cover here, underneath here. And fortunate for us, the red item that the enemy minions got was a hard light afterburner, which they cannot use. Whereas if they had something like a Beggar's Bazooka or a Tesla Coil is notoriously difficult. They will in fact deal very large amounts of damage. Okay, we've almost finished the cell, and there we go. We have completed the Null Voids, and we have completed To Be Left Alone, and we got a red item for completing this as well, a Resonance Disc. We will exit the Void Fields here, and this run, but as very similar to our last couple of plays, we'll be taking this further into the game to get some of the late game achievements. Catch you again in the next video. This is Create Gaming.